Hello! After my last video about effortless being, I received a comment with some questions and now I'm gonna address that. So first of all, I will read it. I particularly liked video on effortless being, and especially the point that as we create our happiness effortlessly, we also create our misery effortlessly. I had never thought about it. But why do we create misery? Is it on purpose or out of ignorance? If on purpose, then it is because we get bored of our happiness, so we switch to the other side of the pendulum? Or is it because of the way the nature is, like a wave? Is happiness will accompanied by sadness and then back to happiness again? If we create misery out of ignorance, it is because we think we are powerless? Can you make a video on this someday? Thank you. So yeah, I am making it now, and we can take that comment in parts. So first of all, but why do we create misery? Is it on purpose or out of ignorance? So yeah, most likely it is out of ignorance, out of blindness. And of course there are degrees on how conscious being is. But if being is fully present, fully aware, fully conscious about itself, about its true nature, then it does not make sense to that being to create misery. Why would it create that? It only happens when we forget our true nature, because our true nature, natural state, is bliss. It is beyond duality, like you said. Or is it because of the way the nature is, like a wave, as happiness will be accompanied by sadness and then back to happiness again? So there is, we can say, there is conditional happiness based on conditions, based on comings and goings, on circumstances that are constantly changing. So in that sense, yes, we can say that it goes like waves, from being happy to being sad, disappointed, and so on. Like it's more like pleasure and pain goes always in turns, in cycles. One leads into another. But true happiness, true bliss is beyond this game of duality. It is just natural state of being. Being does not depend on comings and goings. Being does not change. And it is always blissful. If you can take your attention from all experiences into recognition that you are exist as that formless existence between everything and as everything, you will naturally start to feel more and more bliss. Of course, it is required for most of us some training, some meditation to slow down our minds, to release some unconscious resistance, maybe pain, and so on. And when we will start to feel more and more natural bliss, and we will see that actually everything that we are experiencing is created out of that bliss of pure being, bliss of pure divine awareness. Sachit Ananda. It is our nature. It translates as truth or being. Chit, it is Sat. Chit, it is consciousness, awareness, and Ananda is bliss. So awareness of your pure beingness, your pure inner truth is bliss. Bliss is natural response to that. And it can be experienced even in the most darkest hours of our lives, even in the pain. There can be also peace and bliss and love, unconditional love that surrounds and embraces that processes, that experiences of whatever kind it is. And to another part, if on purpose, then it is because we get bored of our happiness, so we switch to the other side of the pendulum. Yeah. So I don't know how you can get bored of your happiness, because happiness can expand also in this experience of physical life. We can allow more and more that natural bliss into our experience, because that bliss is infinite, timeless, but within this dimension of time and space and life and growth, growth actually is that, to open up to more of that natural state, to become more, to experience becoming more of who we already are, as that infinite being, as that infinite all that is. So by going deeper within every day and also expressing that in the most exciting ways that you can, being in sincere service to others and just enjoying your life as best as you can expand your happiness, your experience of happiness all the time, and it never gets bored. It only gets more exciting. So if you get bored of your happiness, that may mean that you have some limiting ideas, some limiting beliefs around your understanding of happiness. Maybe it tells you that you need to expand your understanding what truly happiness is, like I just described now. When you stop thinking, for example, it is very simple. You can just breathe in, breathe out, and just stop thinking for a few seconds. But very, very sharply. Let go everything that you hold. And you can start to feel that overwhelming sense of peace and bliss. Out of nothing, it is causeless. It is before any imagined reason. It is your nature. And then it leads to your truest expression in this life. How do you want to express that infinite source that you are? How do you want to share that happiness? As in the movie Into the Wild, that main character wrote a text before he died, that happiness is only real when it is shared. Very, very profound realization. So maybe you are holding yourself back from your truest, authentic expression and service to others. So you need to check that. What is the boredom? Maybe you experiencing resistance to that feeling of boredom or sadness. Sometimes, I read a quote of Jiddu Krishnamurti where he said in his time that sadness is beginning of meditation. So it is also good when we start to feel sad, start to feel empty, like I don't want to do anything at all. So it is a perfect sign that tells you that you need to go deeper within. And when you go deeper within, you will reconnect to your source, to your causeless joy, freedom. And then it will direct you again into this world in the most exciting and powerful ways. So use those ideas of sadness or boredom just as the road signs, and they will disappear. When you use those seemingly negative things in the positive way, they will leave you naturally. It is all your creation, again, effortlessly. And there are always those waves, like peaks and valleys. But again, if you use those valley experience, when everything slows down, when you want to be more with yourself and accept yourself in those moments, then it will always lead you higher and higher and higher. You can see that, not just like up and down, but like more like a spiraling up movement. Because yes, those moments when seemingly everything goes down is basically for integration. Because your body, your mind usually needs time to integrate new experiences, new energies, and so on. And then reborn like a butterfly, like a caterpillar, eats leaves like a metaphor for gathering experiences. Eating leaves, and when he gathers enough of those nutrients, of those experiences, in our example, it goes into a cocoon. I don't know if this is the right word, but yeah, it goes into that state of stillness when everything slows down and when everything gets rearranged, transformed, and then he emerges as the butterfly. So yeah, you can see those periods as the integration and metamorphosis of your own structures, realignment, your virtues, your priorities, and so on. So yeah, everything serves you. There is nothing that do not belong in your experience. Everything is created out of your divine will for the best interest and benefit. And last part, if we create misery out of ignorance, it is because we think we are powerless. Yes, it can be belief that we are powerless. Yeah, so naturally our experience is miserable, and that ignorance is usually innocent. We just born into society where this energy, these belief systems surrounds us and teach us various ways based on fear, on punishment and reward, for example. So yeah, then we think that we are separate, small, lacking, that there is some authorities outside of us, even God outside of us. So yeah, it was our structure based on that, of unworthiness. But now it's rapidly changing. It is rapidly changing. It is, I can say that it is over. We already chose to awaken from that dream of limitation. Now we just need to accept that we chose that this is already happening, and just go fully on into the new reality, into the heaven on earth, where everything is based on that unconditional beingness, love, abundance, and wisdom of the heart. So, yeah, thank you for this opportunity to clarify, and see you in the moment. Have fun!